Hello Taurus, and thanks so much for joining me for the September of 2021 Taroscope with Animal Totem. This is Vickieverlie, the Rock and Roll Prophetess. I've been a professional reader for over 30 years. I also do channeling and spiritual art and all sorts of other things. You can find out more about me on your website. On my website, this is for Taurus Sun sign, Taurus Rising, and Taurus Moon. The decks we'll be using is the Rock and Roll Tarot deck, my own creation. Then we're going to follow it up with the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards, which are Animal Totem cards for also my own creation. For the level 2 Patreon people, there'll be 3 additional cards pulled from the Aquarian Tarot. Thanks so much for tuning in. Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising, Taurus Moon. These cards have been thoroughly shuffled, and now we are going to just do a very loose shuffle and let spirit guides and angels pull out the cards that are meant for our Taurus friends for the month of September of 2021. It's a big month. We've got this ingress is happening. The ingress is on, baby. It's on. And this is always a big shift. It's a change of seasons, whether you're in the northern or southern northern hemisphere, doesn't matter. In the entire world, this is the change of the season. So it's a new chapter. It's a collective shift that we all feel, and it's an important time to change your course, start new beginnings, and things like this. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Many of you are going through some stuff with some relationship things, because we start out with a bunch of sword cards. Well, this one is the one that kind of, you've been hurt. You know, you've been through hurts. You've been through some kind of emotional turmoil or something like that, and in the wake of that you're feeling a little bit stressed or a little bit maybe not sure if you want to move forward. There's definitely a lover coming in, there's a lover coming in, and they're saying to take a chance on love. I'm going to write that as your headline, take a chance on love. Yeah, because that's definitely what they're talking about, take a chance on love. Oh, I'm hearing that song. It's a really old one. Da, 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 da. Take a Chance on Me, maybe? I think it's an ABBA song, actually. It's like an oldie. If anybody recognizes, now, if anybody recognizes it, you could paste the title or paste the lyrics in the comments. But please, first of all, don't paste a link to the video, because YouTube will automatically mark it as spam, and I don't really check that spam folder too often. So videos don't get seen. Secondly, if somebody has already answered it, we don't need 50 more people to answer it again. So if you know what it is, please check the comments first to make sure somebody else hasn't already answered it. Okay, but anyways, take a chance on me, na 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 da da da, something like that. I think it's ABBA. But anyways, but that's what it's telling you, Taurus. Take a chance on love. Yeah, you've been hurt in the past. We all have. I mean, that's life, right? That's life in the big city. Love hurts, if you haven't heard. Now I'm getting, of course, love hurts. I'm hearing the heart version, and that is a killer version. If any of you have not ever heard the heart version, I mean, well, Ann Wilson, she's just phenomenal. But love hurts, I think it was maybe Gary Wright or somebody did it in the 70s. But yeah, love hurts. And the reason, if you've never seen my videos and you're like, what's with all the song references, that's just the way my guides communicate with me. Sometimes I'll get a ton of them, like I seem to be getting in your reading right now, but sometimes I just get 2 or 3 or a few. But they're definitely talking about take a chance on love. You know, the Fool sees this too. The Fool looks up at this. And by the way, the Fool's not foolish. The Fool is just, he doesn't have any bag. He's very small. He doesn't carrying around a lot of baggage. He's ready, he's clean and fresh and ready. He's 0, and he's ready to take a shot. He's ready to take a chance. So he looks up here. He sees the 10 of Swords. He sees it. He's not trying to say it never happened. He's not trying to not validate what happened. He says, yeah, I see that. Yeah, I was hurt, but I'm still willing to open my heart again. I'm still willing to give it another try. And for a lot of you, it sure looks like it's this King of Cups here. Now, these readings are gender neutral, so there's not any... It's representing as a king, but it could be anybody. You know, it doesn't have to be a male energy. It could just be anybody. The other thing is, the king is always more fully evolved. The king is not, it's not a page, it's not a knight, he's a king. And the king is fully evolved. The king, and the King of Cups is fully a more emotionally mature person. You know, they're not playing head games, they're not, you know, they're grown. They're grown and mature, and they act like it. This is could turn out very differently than what you've, what you're, if you're caught in the worry about, oh, I was hurt before. Chariot says this could be much different than you're anticipating. Chariot is the major victory card, the highest success card in the entire deck. Now, if you're not looking for love, it might just be success. This could be success through other means. And if you're not looking for love and the lover shows up in your spread, it can just mean that you're going through a great phase in your relationship. Because anybody who's been in a long-term relationship knows it's not all, happily ever after. There's times when it's going really great. It ebbs and flows. So it could just say, if you're in a long-term relationship, it could just say, you guys are just in a really good phase right now. You're really getting along really well, and you're really feeling that love energy, feeling that love vibe. Take a chance on whatever's coming your way. Even though you've gotten burned in the past, this could be different, especially if there's a King of Cups involved. Now, the King of Cups may be a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. Here's another clue as far as the astrology with the water sign energy. We are going to be having a full moon in the sign of Pisces. And that is occurring on September 20th, right before the equinox. The equinox is on the 22nd. So it might be right around that time. It very well could be. You've got this moon in reverse here, too. Now, that talks about not seeing things clearly. But, I feel like it's in line with this again. For some of you, there could have been a major betrayal in a relationship. The moon sometimes can be somebody who was lying, cheating. Moon in reverse also sometimes can talk about that there was potentially somebody who had a drug or alcohol problem, or even a mental illness or something like that. I'm telling you, you've been there, done that. It was that kind of stuff. That's all part of your a karmic thing that you had to endure, or you had to, go through to get where you are today. And the Chariot is here. The Chariot is the major arcana here too, and the Fool and the Lover. Well, these all are. These 4 cards here are all major arcana. But when I read psychically, I'm really being drawn right into this. That's the most powerful card that's drawing me the most. It could also be maybe you're going to travel, or for some of you, maybe you've been talking to somebody online and you're considering moving. You're like, well, maybe I'm up to my life before and moved across the country for some guy or some girl or whoever. I don't know if I want to do it again. And this is saying, it could be really well. And you don't have to burden yourself with this anymore. You don't have to burden this. You don't have to carry this heavy load anymore. The Fool does not carry a heavy load. He's just got his little tiny bag there. He's not carrying all this heavy crap. He's not walking around with this heavy load. He's like, lift off that heavy load. Release. I'll tell you another thing, because the full moon is always the moon, and the full moon in Pisces water, it's always a good time to do the releasing, especially on this full moon, because we're going to have that full moon on the 20th, so it's a great time to release, number 1. Number 2, it's in a water sign, which is very harmonious with your earth sign energy. Water feeds earth. It's a real nice harmonious thing, so you can really work with that energy. Number 3, it's right before we go to the Libra ingress, which is that, that equinox, that powerful time when we all turn that corner, and it's a new beginning for everybody. So it'd be a great time to do that clearing, and then, the next couple of days do your manifestation, and you're manifesting for the next time. There's a decision that has to be made. And for most of you, sometimes this could be a decision made by an outside person, and it can be the case. This could be like potential job person or somebody like that, that's maybe just trying to decide to hire you if that's where you're at, if that's what you're focused on right now. But I feel for most of you, this is you. This is you making that decision, and you're coming from a place of empowerment. You're coming from a place of strength. You're strong like bull, I'm hearing. Strong like bull, because you're Taurus the bull, right? Okay. Let me go ahead and grab my Animal Totem deck. Real quick reminder, I am offering those equinox readings for a limited time. They're always very popular. This would cover astrology. It's a psychic astrology reading with Animal Totem, but it covers from the 22nd to the end of the year. So that's the whole season. It's just like a seasonal reading. And it looks at all the astrology stuff from a psychic perspective. And, it's astrology's perspective, but it's also a psychic perspective. And I have other readings if you prefer the cards or whatever. There's all sorts of stuff on my site, so you can check it out. Let's get that Animal Totem card for I was going to say our Pisces friends. I think this person might be a Pisces for many of you. But let's get for our Taurus friends. Let's see here. What's the animal spirit? The fox. See, if back in the day, you know, fox meant like, oh, he's a fox. Oh, she's a fox. Yeah, foxy lady. Fox on the run. That meant like what we say today. Ooh, they're hot. Back in the old days, you know, it was always fox means sexy. Especially because I always lay the animal totem card here. So somebody thinks you're a fox. You know, somebody thinks you're really sexy. They're really attracted to you. But fox has other meanings. So let's read into what I originally wrote. Sly, sexy, charming shapeshifter, elevated sense of smell, acute hearing, mediumship, camouflage, retreat, insulate, survive. Keep to yourself until you know who to trust. So I think that could tie into this other stuff. I think that's kind of where you've been, maybe, some of you Taurus. I keep wanting to say Pisces. So I think that Pisces energy, number one, it could be that full moon in Pisces on the 20th. Number two, this could be a Pisces. Number three, this stuff here even might be going all the way back to Pisces time, which that would have been back in late February and March. So maybe some of you had a breakup around then, or maybe that's when this other relationship was going on. But back to this. I think that's where you've been. You've been a little guarded. But now it's kind of more time to come out and be a little bit more like, hey, I'm ready for love. I'm hearing ready for love, Bad Company. 'Cause I'm ready for love. Ooh, baby, I'm ready for love. All right, I don't want to get flagged for copyright, so I want to tell you one thing real quick again about my journals. I love these. I'm so happy with them, and everybody seems to really dig them a lot. These are just a few examples of the various. They come in sketchbooks or writing journals for the back to school time, or if you just want a journal for yourself, they're available only $6 and some change on Amazon, free shipping with Prime. But I mean, it's a really good quality. I'm really surprised. And I've started doing my channeling. Well, I didn't start doing. I've been doing, but I needed to start a new notebook because I fill them up and I start new notebooks all the time with the channeling. I got big folders full of them. And I've been writing in it, and I'll tell you what, honestly, the paper is just so smooth and nice. It's a pleasure to write in, it really is. And the paper's nice and thick, like way thicker than like a regular notebook that you would buy, the 99-cent kind, which is what the spiral notebook shows. It's just real nice. But so if you got kids going back to school, you're going back to school, whatever. You just want a nice journal for yourself. Check it out if you're interested. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate. For the Patreon peeps, we're going to come back with the 3 cards from the Aquarian Tarot. You can find out all that information below. Anything that I've talked about, mentioned, it's all in the description below. So please check there before emailing me or commenting, or check my website. I want to thank everybody for liking, sharing, and subscribing. That triggers that algorithm on the YouTube, and that gets me kind of back in the mix. And then more people can get the message that I put out. So that's ultimately the goal. Thank you so much. Have the great. Don't forget about that equinox reading. Also, if you're interested, have the greatest month of September, and we'll talk to you again, Taurus, next time. Bye.